everyone, my name is Mitz. Here we are back with Birth Me Code. Now, it's been a hot minute since I last played through this game, since 2 years give or take, going through the revised ending of this, but finally now, there's a new update discovering and talking about some extra bonus content which was teased that E2AA was going through all the videotapes of some footage made before and possibly maybe after the Kill Me game happened, and now it's actually finally shown on the flowchart right here, all the way down here. Because with the revised ending, you wouldn't be able to see this if you didn't put in E2A8's new name, which was Emily Fiction, based on the ending the revised ending. But there's also the square right down the middle, which between these two, this is the ending of the Kill Me game, the entirety of Birth Me Code, and this goes into a small segue into Heda's code. And I wonder exactly what this goes into. Just bonus 2, the beginning of the end. I mean, this is literally just maybe showing off, I guess, footage about maybe steps taken for the plan, or I don't think they're gonna show anything for Project Deforge or Decide for God. But maybe something that goes forwards to I guess discussing more of Etine's plan in that case then? Really intrigued. Okay. Warning, the following segment is the very final bonus of Birth Me Code. It contains a small amount of spoilers for Heda's code. Proceed with caution. I encourage you to have played Heda's code before reading this bonus. Yeah, nice. Honestly, oh yeah, that's the thing. I'm also playing this under Heda's code, so finally it's unlocked. We're definitely back into Emily Fiction's head then. Time to see what's contained in this recording. Didn't I have a vague recollection, but didn't E basically mentioned that these videotapes are on a timer to be released for E to peruse in her own time? Or did she try to hack her way through and I do mean actually hack and not access the helmets in the the Kill Me game, but actually just hacking into the mainframe or the whole place just to watch these? I think it was really just unlocked. Time to see what's contained in this recording. Oh hey. A low rumbling echoed in the slightly trembling elevator chamber. It was in motion, going downwards to the depths of Complex 39. The elevator shook, vibrating with motion. Oh, we'll get to that game soon enough. Aboard the elevator were two people. One was an extremely old and frail-looking woman wearing a strange outfit with a lab coat over it. That's Etine Ecofilm. The other was a younger boy with brown hair. Hi, Marco. God, best boy. Neither spoke. Though it seemed as if the boy was struggling with an emergency of the bathroom variety, they kept shifting from one foot to the other. Oh my gosh, it's literally just his sprites there. Okay then, before he gets into into laser tag suit. Okay, that's that's kind of cool, kind of. Are we there yet? In reality, he couldn't contain himself in the silence and broke it after only 20 seconds had passed since the elevator had begun moving. The other woman looked at him with a stern stare. We'll get there when we get there. Not yet. The elevator hasn't stopped moving. But has it though? Maybe it's an illusion, based on your mind. You should have used the descender instead. Another one of your jokes. What's the punchline this time? Oh, nothing. Just descender instead of elevator, since we're going down and not up. I see. Complete deadpan. Look, the jokes are cool, okay? I can't recall there's any joke he made in Heda's code. I need to go through the entire Birth Me code again to see if any joke he made did not land, honestly. Cause he's a funny dude. Meanwhile, Marco had a stupid grin on his face. So, why does this one have the keyholes too? Keyholes too? Oh, so this is not the same elevator then, is it? The what? The keyholes. They're used to lock the other elevators. Other elevators? Oh, that. They probably overlooked this one. Maybe they made all the elevators here on the same model. I don't know. Does it matter? I feel like this is literally just a a small thing. I couldn't we couldn't get an elevator like CG or just background without the keyholes, but it's kind of funny just leaving it in, honestly, even if like you just Photoshop it out. It's infinitely funnier to me. Once again, silence. Eventually, the elevator did stop. Are we still moving? The doors open on darkness. The two of them stepped out in this familiar, unlit room. Where's the light switch again? To your left. She flicked it, causing the lights to turn on. Now we're back here. This was the White Room in Complex 39. Years ago, this is where my emptiness were adorned of helmets, where the Miko was copied into their heads. Now, it was empty, silent, and dusty. Thankfully, it was the light switch and not the heavy switch, so you could flick it easily. I'm stronger than I look. Mentally, maybe. Physically? Jury's still on that one. There was a brief pause while Tyne walked towards the computer in the center of the room. She examined it briefly, attempted to power it on. Nothing happened. This place hasn't changed at all since 2014, did it? I like how there's a lot of zoom-ins and like characters are moving around the screen. That's probably going to be in like a Decipher God then, huh? I heard this game was maybe getting a graphics overhaul to be more in line with how Decipher God is going to be. That's probably going to be a while, or if at all, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't blame Miracle Moon if, like, just trying to be finally done with Birth Me Code. Especially, he had to change the different engines for the game and all that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a fucking hassle. This place hasn't changed at all since 2014, did it? Nobody came here after the events. Not even the MTS? It was abandoned. I see. So why are you all back? I'm assuming this is like it's definitely years after 2014, but I don't know if is it actually that closer to when before Hedda's code starts? I mean, it makes sense. There's nothing left for the MTS here. I mean, if there is all this hardware still. Hey, I'm also wondering, you're filming. Why? At Tyne's hand was a small camera. I need to make this recording. Oh man. If I'd known, I would have dressed better for the day. I just threw on this shirt I just got printed. You just got printed. You like it? Tyne stared at him, decided to answer. Man, she does not like graphic design. A biochromatic meridian. That's me. Okay, well, whatever. Recording. Is it for someone? Yes. It's for you. Oh, well, thanks, but no thanks. Okay, bye, Marco. We'll not see you again. Going through this once will be more than enough for me, I think. Dumbass. You know what I mean. Yeah, I do. But still, couldn't you guys have named God something different, like Zachary or Nina or even Bruce Wayne? Let's focus on what's important here today. Of fucking course you say Nina, god damn it. She abruptly cut him off and went to another elevator. I'm pretty sure they mentioned the way down, so they just came from the surface? I think that elevator goes down to the school? Or I'm getting the mix up anyway in my head. This room had in total 3 elevators. 2 were in opposite corners, and they led down to each side of Complex 39 below. Oh, yeah, okay, there was 2 of them that goes to different sides. One was the mostly human team, and the other one's the mostly robot team. Yeah. The third one was in a corner between them, and led up to the surface. Okay, we're back here. Fine, but tell me what we're doing here at least. A time waited as they entered the elevator itself. It set in motion, and then she spoke. I need to retrieve an important object I left here in 2014. Why did you leave it behind then? Were you that much of a rush and you decided to, in case, like, the MTS, like evacuate, like, just investigate the place? Like, maybe you'll still find it? Is that what it is? I don't think the gravity machine you would definitely take with you. It's too important. So what else is there? And why did you take it back then? I was busy leaving as fast as possible before the MTS showed up. Those moon guards are pretty serious. Moon guards? Oh yeah, those black-suited, red-lined guys. Gotta keep that in mind. Black-suited, red-lined guys. Dangerous. He frowned, then continued to speak. Seems weird to me that you trust this place to hold your precious thing. No one has any reason to come here after the brief inspection given by the other branches. Or maybe they were forbidden to. Silence. A long silence settled in between them again, during which the boy once again resumed his shifting. Left foot, right foot. Right foot, left foot. Wow. What about middle foot? But this time, he didn't speak until the elevator doors opened again. What, you don't have a third leg? By this time, he didn't speak until the elevator doors opened again. Yep, we're back here. Zoom in. How far in is it? Pretty far. Thankfully, I know the shortcuts through the plates. Ah, yeah, the secret areas. Oh, it's right there on the left side. The two of them left the elevator area entirely to enter the middle of the crossroads. Then, they stepped further into the Wing A. There was no sound but their footsteps upon the cold, dusty ground. It feels almost surreal coming back here. It's been like I think it's been like half a decade for me, maybe, I think, going through this, or it's probably just 3 years, honestly. It feels so long ago just playing through this and just seeing the familiar backgrounds once again. Man, I definitely need to replay things again. Like, definitely, I have to play through it, Hedda's Code and Birthday Code at the same time before, like, when the release for Decide for God comes quicker and sooner. Just the theorizing and all that. The teasers for Decide for God are all out. I know there's a demo actually released by now, but I'm steering way clear of that. Very much so. I definitely have access to it, but I'm not looking into it. It was dark, stuffy, and every step was difficult, as if the air, charged with so much dust, was physically blocking their legs. I was lucky neither of them were claustrophobic. With the suffocating atmosphere of this abandoned complex, they would have passed out right then and there. I remember just having that exact same feeling when living into my college dorm. Man, that was stifling and suffocating for me. God, it doesn't help the room was so small, especially with how stale the air was. Etine made a small grimace when she breathed in the air of Wing A. The ventilation was turned off, just like the lights. Magico presto! Woo! Having said that, the boy was the one to flick the light switch this time. Nice. And thankfully for them, this was the last switch. Despite each room having its own, they had all been left to on when this place is abandoned. If this is the last light switch, then literally this hallway itself is where something important is being held. There's blocked out doors, there's a fire extinguisher, maybe something behind there, one of the, I guess, locked lockers? The master light switch had thus given them sight for every area going forward. Once again, they set in motion and proceeded through Wing A in complete silence. Silence is golden. Marco was merely following Etine, who moved with intent, knowing where to go. I wonder why she allowed him to come here. Fun banter. Yeah. Okay, that was kind of fun. Eventually, they stopped in front of the duo of rooms related to Luxuria. Oh, yay, the Love Hotel. Oh, why are we here? This is where I left it. In his room? Really? Of all of them, you picked his? There's like some members of the NTS which are more prudish. Or I guess they just don't want to be in there for too long if they recognize what the room is meant to be. Yeah, I think it's a good place, honestly. Depends on how deep in the room it is. Or if it's in the acid room. It's actually both ways, just repellent to anyone. Don't you want to get burned by acid? It was such a conspicuous object that nobody would think has it inside. Oh, it's definitely in the haphazard room. My gosh. The one that organized by size items. Marco shrugged and the two of them entered the room. Specifically, they entered the left room, the hotel-looking room. Oh, it's in there then. Okay. It's actually, okay, there's something hidden there. It's definitely a safe. Don't think so. Lamp, paintings. Did they try looking like behind the paintings? There's a curtain like there's a curtain like right here. Don't know if there's anything behind that. I can't remember if there was anything the first time. That or some hidden compartment even when we were going through this and going inside of Marco's head as Mark Tremblay just going through this whole section. It's if anything different. Probably not noticed it if there was a hidden compartment around here. The painting is off the safe, I think. Yeah, so. Italian looked around briefly. Oh. Her gaze set onto the desk next to the bed. On the right. One of those drawers? Oh no, it's the fork again! It's the fork! She walked over to it while Marco waited near the door. With a flick of the wrist, the drawer was opened, and she lifted a peculiar item. Ah, there it is. Why? This is the fork. E288 was pretty silly interpreting this as a fork. It's a weird-looking fork, I'll give you that much. She probably just had no concept of what it is. E288 was pretty silly. Oh, I'm assuming, like, okay. It's either, like, this is completely someone else watching this recording, and this is literally just not her anymore, it's someone else we don't know watching this, or this is literally just, this is Emily fiction after she got, like, memories from, like, both sides of the flow chart. Both of them, from Wing A and Wing B, like, their memories on both sides, the human and the robot group, and to become third, become someone new. And given its nature, I mean, it's true that the others didn't pay it any mind, besides reading a code on it. Really? We're here for this? Hey, it's actually kind of an ingenious way to hide something very secret, honestly. No one wants to touch it. Unless... let's not go into that. No, not exactly. Don't let it fool you, boy. This object is actually hollow. It contains a USB stick. I see, I see. Or I don't see, because I only see this interesting object for now. And time pushed against a part of it, causing the item to break apart into multiple pieces. A part of it. If, like, they handled it, like... I don't think there was... unless there was, like, some, like, off-screen mention of, like, someone entering this room, I don't think anyone would be able to find this, honestly. So, we only saw, like, you know, Marco... like, then, Atine, and then, what was her name? Lucille? Like, come into this room, honestly. Gula, Tristia, and, Nvidia, technically speaking. Just to put my mind in, like, the teams in order. Don't think, they never noticed it. Like, but all of them really did not want to touch anymore. It's the perfect disguise. But why leave it in there, though? Like, what's so important that you don't have the USB stick on you, on your hand when you're leaving? Why leave it inside the fork for all this time, even when people are doing escape rooms, from the sounds of it? You're right. No one would have messed with this to find out if there was anything inside of it. Then the silence settled while Atine pocketed the stick. So, what's on it? The details of a certain project that will happen sometime soon. Most likely in 2022. Ah, yes, the Tower of Birth, correct? Oh, you know about that. I had this sneaking suspicion that since Marco is definitely in the side for God, that he technically knew ahead of time that he was gonna be put into it. And that, or like, we know, like, literally everyone was human in the very first ending for Hedda's Code, but then afterwards everyone's a robot. But Marco's body was mixed in with everyone else's bodies, but like this is like a 999 situation where like it could have been something similar to Ace, like, you know, mixing into dead bodies of bleeding on the ground by the staircase in one ending. I think it was the submarine ending. Yeah, he literally could have pretended to be dead then and like survive, but like, no, wait, no, never mind. Like the whole facility was also buried in rubble, so I think Marco was definitely dead for sure there, or the very least robot. Oh God, what did Emily actually do with the bodies? What did she actually do with the bodies? Oh God. No, this is Proto Deforge. Again, why leave it in a fork? for, I guess, someone to actually stumble upon it. Why not just keep it with you or somewhere else, I guess, more hidden? Kind of a silly name. And what's that one for anyway? You never told me what it's all about. It is for the future where none may tread, the seaside to decide. That sounds cool, at least. Look, it's honestly kind of cool, yes. Maybe I'll put that on my next shirt. Yes, please. Cease's mockery. It'll happen soon, and you'll be a part of it, too. Oh. Neat. But seriously, though, can I put that on my shirt per Project Deforge, then? I want to see that underneath the bandages. No, you'll be wearing something else. I had 2 tasks for you first. Oh, I was actually... I'm assuming it's going to address it. Like, it was really actually Marco recorded the... It was actually Marco recorded the Smiley video, but he wasn't really Smiley. He was technically helping it set up, but not realizing he was going to be put into it. Itine sat down at a small camera on the side desk and moved over to the bed as she spoke. She stared down at the surface, then flung the sheets off. Whoa. Sorry, ma'am, but this is a Wendy's. What? What are you insinuating? No, this bed doesn't have to do with your tasks. I meant simply to get this too. She reached for one of the pillows and opened it up. Okay, how many things are in this room? Then, she threw the pillowcase aside and ripped the pillow wide open, sticking her hand through the hole. Her fingers grabbed onto an object and she slid it out. It looked like a strange tablet, and on it were 3 numbers. 288. Well, that's kind of like the, besides 39, it's kind of the arc number. The arc numbers, yeah. 288 years, E288 for the universe, I guess, Birth Me Code, what the Kill Me game finally concluded, the universe it on. Oh, neat. And that's a reset number. Reset number. Precisely. This thing can tell which reset we're in, as you can see. And how does that work? Here's the thing, Marco. Magic. Well, they had technology to make sure memories and experiences that E288 got from every single universe reset whenever she died in the Kill Me game. Then they have this too. It's magic. It's magic. You can equate it to sci-fi magicry. How does it know? It knows because you knows. Ah, I see. We're projecting onto it. Oh, okay. That explains everything. Makes complete sense. No, but really, care to elaborate? Sure, if you have a few hours, I could tell you about the radiation of antiparticles causing a coalescence of antimatter, the cyclone. You could, but now I'm regretting having asked. Don't worry, I'm have the little lecture later, okay? And that this is all the source of the bichromatic part, where one reset is red, and the other is cyan. Number symbolizes the midpoint between both, and allowing for this assigned number. Wasn't the red and blue thing also, I guess, the first puzzle, technically, the quote-unquote first puzzle of Hades Code with them making the 9 with 5 and 4, which is literally also the most discreet and super duper subtle, almost too subtle thing of showing off that only Emily and Simon can leave alive the game based on her own measures. I can't remember if only after the I can't remember, was NA anyone could leave, but it was changed to only Emily and Simon could escape every other ending. I can't quite recall. I think that's it though. Okay, I get it. Oh, but I thought you were a fan of this, seeing how your shirt says a bichromatic meridian. Itine gave a rare grin, knowing how much this subject grated the boy. Having considered that a victory, she left the bed aside after picking up the camera again and walked away, towards the door. How much the subject grated the boy? Just the bichromatic meridian? He doesn't know about it either? Or he does know, but it does, what was it? That was something, thinking about Hades Code that Marco, was forced to believe based on the, I guess, MTS's, what was it? MTS is meddling with his brain, like the caller anyway, that he was meant to share the MTS's doctrine and inexplicably believe in God, or at least, you know, I guess the motive and goal they have for, I guess, you, God. He definitely, like, I guess that this, maybe that's what it means? The graded on him? We're done here? Almost. Take the bichromatic telegrapher. Bichromatic telegrapher? Alright. Here we go. One bicolor television wrapper. What? Now, about your tasks. For all his mocking, Marco seemed pretty alert now that the subject had come up. All trace of joking having left his features. He is serious now. Serial. The first task will be to assist E2AA with anything she may require in the Tower of Rebirth. Ah, I knew it. Ah, really? I thought she's off doing whatever she wants. Unfortunately, this is pretty crucial. I don't especially want to be used as a pawn in the future for some stupid execution game. Oh, you definitely know about ahead of time. In that case, at least do the recordings. Knew it. Well, fine then. That's another thing wondering. Is Decide for God actually, like, taking place in between Hedda's Code? Or definitely, like before Hedda's Code? Like, literally, Marco was in the mummy and the cloak thing for Simon in the recordings, and he definitely decided for God. You can see them, the screenshots. I don't want to look into it any much more than that, like the demo and that stuff. I'm just wondering now if Lilium, he allowed himself to be put in the Decide for God game, the Project Deforge, like after he made the recordings, and then depending on the ending they got, he then got put in the Tower of Rebirth, I guess the dating game, or literally happened, or like it's happening afterwards, since we all know that Hedda's Code was all one entire universe like thing, and has not been reset once during the entirety of it. So maybe afterwards? I'm actually wondering if they, like, even though like each universe reset has slight differences for the universe, like people make small little bit of differences in terms of personality or anything like that, then would the dating game be absolutely halted based on what they know from here? From, you know, Birth Me Code? The Kill Me game and all that? Or no, maybe not. I guess maybe actually? Huh. Well, fine then. I never cared about who I was until I put on the mask. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, I actually started liking, I liked Marco's character even before the mask came off, or like we even knew anything about him, even if it was like someone else. It's the weirdest thing now, just realizing that I'm, God, I need to even watch my own Let's Play of like how I reacted. Like, you were definitely how the series is meant to be played is Hedda's Code then Birth Me Code. But I went to Birth Me Code since the remaster for, you know, Hedda's Code wasn't out. But like, it still was really fair to figure things out for like finding out who Marco was in that, like Mark and all that. Man. He's fun. I wonder how different it'd be if I actually played in the right order, if I waited longer. Your second task would be to join the members of My Emptiness as alongside me in their investigation for Zachary, and steal the Abimi from the MTS. Okay, the Abimi is definitely going to be something put in play for Decide for God. And besides that, like, the series like called Abimi, but like it's only been brought up in Birth Me Code here for the first time and nowhere else. Well, I guess unless you count him Marco's Schroeder, which is it's subtle, but it's there. It's there. The foreshadowing is there. Chekhov's gun. But for a different installment. Yeah, no big deal. I'll just do that real quick. No, but really, where is the Abimi? It's in our hearts. In that guy's heart specifically. Cut him open. Honestly, I'm not even sure if it actually exists. If it does, it is crucial that the bichromatic telegrapher is brought to them. The telegrapher. Otherwise, you won't be able to identify the current reset. Wait, won't identify the current reset? Like, actually, like, figure out which universe reset we're on. Who's them? The Bimmy? The MTS? My emptiness? Maybe it's my emptiness since it could help them in their investigation. Somehow? Them? What do you mean them? Ah, okay. They're talking vague now. I'm assuming we're not going to find out. For some reason, my immediate first thought is none of these people. None of these, honestly. I'm not sure what knowing a number is going to do, but maybe they have special instructions to follow depending on which reset it is? Okay. And if it doesn't exist, then improvise. You're good at that, no? Yes. What do you mean, improvise? You're making up this stuff as you go along, aren't you? How are you creating a plan that hinges on something that might exist if you don't know it does? I can't find the me. Ensure that Zachary has the bichromatic telegrapher. Is that fair to say, then? So Zachary's gonna have that on him to decide for God, then. But we're not gonna be playing as him. I can't remember which team he's on, but definitely, like, just looking at this, the teasers for, like, who is the leader, I guess the two main characters of, Decide for God, honestly, they're pretty interesting, I guess, plot-wise and design-wise. It's nice. It's cool. I think that Zachary is on the purple guy's side. I believe so, anyway. No, I think it was Nina. I don't know. I can't remember. Green or purple. I guess. I don't know what this is gonna do, given how this number is super meaningless for ephemeral existences such as ours. For y'all, it's worthless, but to us, it's everything. I'm assuming it's something part of the plan, though. Because I remember, like, literally figuring out the twist for Hedis Code, or, like, getting confused because, like, Birthday Code, like, had this big thing of, well, I guess, no. I did the revised ending, and then when going through Hedis Code, like, there was 19 things there, which overwent the 300 ending mark, which I was super confused about, which I think maybe helped narrow things down, but also to the point it made me so confused and maybe contributed to them existential crisis moment I had when going through the ending. Man, I think that was the most fun I ever had in a game in a while. The most fun. My god. The plot for Birthday Code is definitely fun though. Definitely. Time was ready to go, though she stopped Marco in his tracks. Before we go, I have another far smaller task to leave you. Have fun wandering around this place looking for a small key underneath a fire extinguisher locked behind another locked room and door behind another staircase. This one may be more ironic than you know, but it has to be done. Ironic, you say? Oh, the irony. Irony, my favorite. I need you to go around this entire place. Set fire to every piece of equipment you can. Oh. I don't think we're in any danger, but there is some dangerous hardware left here. Torch it all. I don't get what the ironic part is, unless you're saying I'm hot. To which I'll say, thanks, but no thanks. Finger guns. Never mind that part. Just put the flame to everything. While Lucille's explosive wasn't really used here, actual explosives, high grade, not her handmade stuff, are around the place. Where exactly? I'm pretty sure the helmet's like... I don't think those are high-grade explosives. They're mostly just destroying the robot's head. Maybe, like, we only saw, I guess, the robots die, in at least our version of the game, anyway. You set a fire big enough, it should make them all blow up, even if it's been years. No controls of the bombs? The hardware linked to it is unresponsive. That's what I checked earlier in the White Room. You're lucky the MTS hasn't blown up this place in 2014. I couldn't afford to just yet. I still thought the stuff here could be of use later. Then everything started going wrong, and then destroying this place became a distant worry. Right. Well then, I'll be back then. I'll be back. Don't leave without me. Okay, bye. Hopefully you don't die. To be honest now, like, Decide for God thinking about it, it's a toss of whether there's going to be a bittersweet ending or not. Because either way, like, it could be like it's a happy ending, but there's some, like, sad undertones, which is literally just like how every game has been so far. Hedisco was definitely more brutal in terms of like how hopeless the situation was, but it had a tiny bit of hope in there. At least how Simon spun his own choice and all that. Which reminds me, I actually like wrote a paper, a research paper for my colleague, from my courses about like the series so far, like talking about free will and determinism from I think my science fiction class. That was honestly fun. It was really fun, and just getting through the details even more from Hedis Code, which I put more focus on there. It actually made me even more emotional because I started noticing even more things about it there, like, holy shit. For example, even though it's like the whole thing of free will and determinism, and like there's no one has exactly a clear choice in the matter. Well, they kind of do, but like it's based on their personality and how they would logically respond, and they would only respond in one way, technically speaking. And technically, that's their choice. They just can't choose anything else. It's not because of our like responses, unless we're not even more in Simon, but like when Simon realized like he was being manipulated, whether by what's been by us, like in the interactions thing, there was like one joke about Marco, like no Simon trying to resist the urge to sit on a stool in the bar, which it was funny funny then, but it's actually kind of terrifying to think about even more now. Oh god, like really, that whole concept of not having like free will and control sometimes, that's honestly scary to me. Sometimes that's honestly like it's a fear. It's a fear. It also just it sets up a lot of alarm bells in my brain. Manipulation, fate and destiny. It's a perfect, just dramatic cocktail for me. God. And Simon, like, there was a brought up of the laws of robotics, with I think Hannah H. That she was a robot from her beginning, and she felt the need to follow the laws of robotics to go into the reactor. But Simon realized he was a robot at the end too, and he felt this pull, like the laws of robotics telling him to save Emily, and an action was causing him to have a small cognitive dissonance. Well, just because of his own personality or the laws of robotics, he resisted it. So there's that whole thing also as well. It's interesting to think about. I'll stop being in a ramble on this. I find it really interesting. The concept to me is fascinating. He vanished from her view, and she decided to wait for him next to the elevator. Up in flames we go. Casting a glance over while waiting for Marco, a small sense of dread filled the old woman. And something close to, but not quite like, nostalgia. She remained immobile, staring at the area, the elevator, the middle of the crossroads. This is goodbye to Complex 39, and this time, there would be no coming back, ever. This was also, in a way, goodbye to the MTS. While she no longer occupied any rank within the organization, it did tug at her a little bit. The realization that with this act, the complex she had worked in so long, so hard, would be gone. Just like all the others, one by one, buried by my hand. Though, it was inevitable. It was already collapsing, and now, it's only all the worse. She closed her eyes and remembered the bichromatic telegrapher's number. Reset 288. So little time before the final reset, 300. The only hint that the Mbimmi exists is this bichromatic telegrapher. The only thing. It must exist. It just has to. But it's all hearsay from that sensosi. You don't know if 300 truly is our limit. If it truly is the Mbimmi supposedly divined it. She clenched her teeth. Well, next, in 2022, will be Complex 12. The last possible location that could contain it. Huh. Complex 12 must have the Mbimmi. The feed cut off without any fanfare. No doubt after destroying Complex 39, in time and Marco made it out. Yeah. This is where the recording ends, though. The Mbimmi, Huh? I wonder if there's some sort of difference between me and this Abimmi. Well, I mean, are you a bi? A bichromatic meridian does make Abimmi. It seems as though both Etine and Marco will take part in this project Deforge in Complex 12. Ah, Complex 12 is part of Deforge. I thought that was Hedda's code. But if they're gonna try to isolate the Abimmi there, I wonder what's gonna be different then. And who's this Sansosi? Isn't that wasn't Serbia though? Is that Annie's surname? Where did she figure into this? Well, she's definitely being into that game as well. Same thing with Alex Seville. Like, those two are definitely gonna be in it. Don't know if, like, Lily, maybe it's talking about their parents in the cult? Or, Anyway, this is the last recording in here. I think it was only just 2. There used to be, like, well, technically, there was, like, 2 bonuses, but, all the character, like, interviews, the Patreon questions, like, a few of them which were mine, put into there, and are lined at the very top of the flowchart. Like, that was the, I guess, second bonus, and this is technically the 3rd, anyway. This is the last recording in here. Now to wait until the events of Complex 12. Oh, and that ended with that little fanfare. I didn't think it would be this. I didn't think it would be that long, but yeah, that was interesting. So they're definitely trying to ice the Abimmi in Complex 12 and decide for God. Project Deforge. Trying to think of anything else. Like, Etine and Marco's gonna be there. I can't remember off the top of my head if Marco and Etine are in the exact same group or not. I feel like Marco, again, is gonna be pretending to not know anything. That game is... There's a lot of interesting stuff happening there, like gameplay-wise. I saw teasers up before. Just stopping seeing all that because I want to be surprised and see it with fresh eyes. Like, the very day it comes out. There's going to be a whole thing of, like, you can fail and succeed escape rooms and get certain endings. But from the sound of it, unless, like, there's something else going on, then there should be 12 endings, unless something else happens that makes a reset 301, which I doubt. It's definitely going to be interesting, and if all those, like, camera zoom-ins and character moving portraits and sprites can be decided for God, like, honestly, that's cool. Like, the quality is stepped up even more. It's actually kind of interesting to see, like, go from this game, Birth Me Code, then seeing, like, I guess the small upgrades and all that in Hedda's code, with dialogue boxes, like how characters move and all that, sprites, movement, you get zoom-ins and all that, to, like, I guess revised ending of this and all that. It's really nice to see, honestly. The quality is, like, stepping up really nicely. It all looks really good. Really good. So there's a teaser's coming out. Also, there's a bunch of short stories which are that Miracle Moon published. Like, actually highlights some questions I had about Hedda's code and Birth Me Code, which I'm assuming were really just questions that I guess the community had. I think they literally just answered one I had when going through a question I had going through Hedda's code, which was answer the short stories. I think that was well, I'm not gonna actually say like, I'm not gonna spoil that because I think it's still a Patreon story, like, only. I don't want to ruin that for anyone else. So until it becomes public, support, read it yourself. There's a lot of them. It discusses a lot of different characters from both Hedda's code and Birth Me Code, or the character study, or just answering some small questions, or just delving deeper into backstories, just various different things or smaller details. It's just a fun time, honestly. Like, some of the stories are honestly really fun to read through. Honestly, just the prose and all that, just fun for me to read. It's actually, like, it's heavily polished for me. That's probably the reason why I have a lot of fun with these games. It's just easy to read through and glide through and not understand what's going on, like, a first time. Or at least understand, I guess, in the first run, but, like, you understand the more nuances of, like, how the prose and, like, smaller details are, and how characters behave. Or smaller details which the main character does not notice until something is revealed later and you come back to it, like, oh, wow! It's all that. It's nice. There was a possibility, like I mentioned before, of this whole game getting a graphical overhaul. Maybe adding, like, all those like shifts and zooming and backgrounds and character sprites like, moving all over the place. Like when Cyber God gets done, that game's gonna release, and maybe Miracle Moon is gonna do a graphical overhaul for this game, or he's just gonna move on to go to Product Team Up, which is teased to be his own version of Danganronpa, of I guess a close circle killing game, and not like a Zero Escape thing like here. That sounds very exciting because instead of using the free time events like I guess like how Danganronpa does, like to get small extra like doesn't change the narrative events of the game. I wonder how that's all gonna be, how he's gonna write all like the background stuff in there. It's honestly probably like all backstory stuff for like characters all be integrated into the main narrative as it goes along. But I wonder what gameplay elements would be there, if there's gonna be any. Because like Ada's Code definitely was just a straightforward almost like kinetic novel without many small branching choices. I mean, there was just interactions, but there was no puzzles or anything like that. Maybe it's that. I'm just speculating here. But, like, yeah, there's a lot still to theorize. I'll definitely need to go through Hedda's Account of Birth Me Code again, read through the short stories again, and try to piece together, like, smaller details like, I might have missed. I'm definitely trying to, like, also show this, like, the games out to other friends. Like, also get maybe their perspectives on how they see things. And then maybe get their thoughts and opinions and maybe things I missed. Because it definitely helps to get like new perspective on things. Maybe some things I missed based on character like behaviors or the details of like how this is set up or that is or not. It'd be fun to see. Just get the small details, the theories all crafted and brewing into my little head, and I guess we'll finally see how Project Deforge will go. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to it. But until that game gets released in hopefully like in a soon to be future, we'll just wait and see how it all goes from here. So, hope you have a fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope you see me next time, what time that may be. And I hope you fantastic day.